What's up, guys? So I finally got all of the 7 stars in All-Star Tower Defense. So we're going to be showcasing every single 7-star as well as ranking them on our 7-star tier list. Here we go. Alright, guys. So let's start off with the 2 hardest 7 stars to get because they're now impossible. Yeah, I know it's unfortunate. Hopefully they like re-release them somehow. I don't know how they're going to do it. But let's start off with our boy Karama. Alright, so we're just going to go place Naruto and Sasuke together. Alright, they got the orb, so there we go. They turn into Karama. Alright, so let's go spawn in the beast. Let's get it, let's get it. Alright, now the nice thing about him is, well, he actually is not that great at the start. He's not terrible, but you know what? We've seen better days. Alright, and of course, you can walk around the map and control him as you want. Oh, wow, that's cool. Dang, man. He looks really good on max graphics. Oh my gosh, it looks really good. Alright, so the nice thing about Karama is not only do you get Karama, but you also have the 2 units. You can place them normally as well, which is really, really nice. Alright, so let's go upgrade Karama. Now, Karama's effects don't change at all, so I'm just going to max it out. So look at that, guys. 17.7 million for 6. That is pretty crazy, alright? That's a very, very high SPA. And here's his animation. It doesn't change. So, I mean, really, really decent unit. Alright, now Karama as a whole is really good, but he's a little bit pricey. So I'm going to give him solid A tier, alright? If it's very good unit, but not too busted. Now remember, guys, this is ranking them against each other. Pretty much every 7-star in the game is S tier or like very high A tier. So don't get mad, guys. I'm just ranking the 7 stars against each other. Alright, so next up, let's go pop down Sasuke. Now, they nerfed Sasuke a long time ago, so he's not as good as he used to be, but what makes him so special is he starts off with Black Flames. A lot of units, you have to get very expensive upgrades for that, but look at this, guys. Deals damage 21 times over 40 seconds, plus his initial attack, so that means 6 times 22. He's doing over 100k on placement. Now, again, he was nerfed, so now he costs $650. He used to cost $500, and he used to do even more damage. And this is with his leader buff, but he's really good. So here's his first effect. All right, if you guys want to see that with Black Flames. 1 million, guys, so very expensive upgrades. His AoE gets bigger, which is very dandy. All right, next effect. Oh, my goodness. Look how clean that is. All right, next effect there. All right, there we go. Pretty good, too. And that's his max stats, guys. They also did buff him as well a little bit and made him cheaper. But look at that, guys. So 3.84 million with no buffs besides the leader buff. And remember, you have to multiply that by 22. So with no like buffs at all, he's already in like the 70-ish million. So factor in like Rook buff, he's doing like around 200 to 250 million damage, which is pretty crazy. Probably one of the highest in the game. But again, he also hits airs as well. There is units that do more than him with Black Flames, but they do not hit air. So that's what makes Sasuke so great. Next up, we have Naruto. Now, Naruto's more of a raid unit. He's really cracked out for raids. 18.2k with 7 SPA. Alright, pretty good. Shuriken Blast. Alright, let me show you the effects too, in case you guys want to see those. Really clean effects. And look at this guy. So this is his max stats for raid mode. 628k for 7 with a decent AoE. So like he's really only good for that. Now if we take a look at his final stats, they're not the end of the world bad, but they're just kind of mid. But what makes him great is, of course, guys, you also get Karama as well, as long as you bring both of these together. So that's what makes them pretty good. So let's go rank these 2. Alright, so unfortunately, Naruto, I'm going to have to say Naruto's kind of mid on his own. I'm going to honestly give him C tier. I just don't think he's that great, 7-star wise. However, I'm going to have to give Sasuke after the nerf solid A tier. He's probably meta for a couple infinites, but he's not meta for every single infinite. And there's a lot of 7-stars that are. So we're going to have to give him a little bit of a down rank for that. But he's still a very, very good unit. All right, next up, guys, we have our boy Broly. Yes, sir, guys. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but Broly, I guess, could be used in Hell Raid. Look at those effects, though. That's still clean, man. Dang. Nobody ever upgrades him to this, though. Dang, look at that. So now he gets Green Blast. Really cheap upgrades, though. Really, really cheap. But you can only place one, which is kind of like what makes him so bad for story. But look at that. Clean effects, though. Dang. They put a lot of effort in these. These look amazing. All right, so his final story mode upgrade, he's doing like 416k. But if we compare that to Naruto, look at this. It's not even close. Like, look at this. And remember, Naruto is way, 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 way cheaper as well. He's only, so, yeah. But most people use him for this guy's full AoE madness right here with a very, very, very good unit right there. But we can kind of compare it to Karama real quick. Look at this guy. So 17.7 for 6 or 31.9 for 16. So, like, honestly, I might just use Broly just because you don't have to run around everywhere. And Broly's actually cheaper too. So Karama just kind of compared to Broly. So we're going to give Broly a lot of credit. I'm going to give Broly high A tier. All right, I'm going to give him high A tier. He might be meta for some infinite modes, but not everything. Again, he's a great 7-star unit. All right, next up we have Diabolo. All right, I can't sell, so we're just going to place Diabolo here. So Diabolo, the nice thing about him is he's a bleed unit, which is really nice. But the only problem with Diabolo is you can't really use him for raid modes. Because look at this. His first upgrade cost $150,000. So you definitely can't use him. All right, here we go. Teleport Fist Barrages. Here's his next effect. He's basically infinite and gauntlet mode only. What makes him so amazing is he's meta for gauntlets so much. And he's also a very good bleed unit as well, guys. So 2.78 million for 5 SBA. Very, very good bleed unit. And of course, guys, he has a pretty sweet ability as well. All right, look at this, man. The effects are insane. All right, look at that, man. That is clean right there. So Diabolo is definitely a great unit, especially if you want to do the Aizen map. Or you're just doing infinite in general. You need to have at least one person on your team with our boy. All right, so for that, we're going to give Diabolo S tier because he's meta for every single infinite. All right, next up, we have our boy Gohan. The last 7-star I had to get. He's really nice. Really, really nice. All right, look at this right here, man. His stats are pretty decent as well. Like, this is his story mode stats, so honestly, you can't really use him for story mode. But he's mainly an infinite mode unit anyway. So Blue Beam is a nice cone AoE. And this is what makes him great, guys. He rages. So he gets 128k per wave, but that does cap out. So it's not as OP. It used to not have a cap or whatever, or something like that. But yeah, so he's really, really good. He has one of the highest DPSs in the game, but you have to wait like 10 waves for him to reach his max DPS. Something like that. Here's his effects. Gohan, definitely a great unit. In my opinion, he's up there with Broly. So I'm going to probably be like, honestly, yeah, I'm going to probably be like, he's right up there with Broly. Very, very good units. And he's meta for a lot of modes too. So definitely a good unit. Next up, we have Zorro. Now, I just got Zorro fairly recently too. Zorro's okay. But the thing is, he sucks for story mode. Look at this. 5.35k at max level bleed. Yeah, no thanks. And of course, guys, he costs 1.85k. So he really, really sucks for anything related to raid mode. But what makes him great is his final attack. So we'll just go show you all his other effects. There we go. They also nerfed him. He used to have double AoE, so he was circle and cone. Now he's just a big circle. But the thing about what made him special back in the day was he hits airs. But nowadays we have the free unit power from Bout 3 that also hits airs and bleed. So I kind of feel like Zorro's a little bit unnecessary, but he's still very good. The other thing I don't like about him is his SB is 12, but his effect is 5 times over 8 seconds. So I'm a little bit worried about that. But overall, he's still a pretty good unit, guys. But because of that, I'm gonna have to dock him a little bit. I'm gonna say, like, I'm gonna probably put him in the A tier. He's a good unit, but he's just not necessary. All right, let's go, guys. Let's get it. All right, next up, we got our boy Metal Cooler. All right, everybody knows what Metal Cooler does at this point. I'm sorry, but I have mine on Water Affinity 5 too. I'm just saying, if you know, you know. Anyways, we'll just showcase his effects, I guess, in case somebody's new here. But like, if you don't already know, man, this guy's the GOAT. Here's Dash. This guy's literally just straight up busted. All right, honestly, the other thing about him is his damage isn't even that bad for his price. And the thing is, on top of that, you get this. Like, they try to nerf this guy so many times. That's how busted he is. But here we go. So summoning 22 million, and it's for each path. So you can kind of tell there's actually 3 Metal Coolers in there. All right, and those split up. So it's really, really good for like high multi-path maps. And honestly, it's pretty much meta for every single raid, guys. So I definitely recommend evolving him if you can get him. And always, guys, easy S tier, man. Easy S tier. All right, next up, guys, we have our boy Cell. Now, Cell, honestly, you know what? He has a little bit of potential. You can kind of tell from his damage. We'll get him a couple upgrades. All right, he actually isn't the end of the world for damage in story mode, but it's just not worth it. I feel like there's like 6 stars and stuff better than him now. So we're just going to get that. He has a nice AoE here. I will give him that. But again, it's nothing too crazy. Here's his AoE attack. All right. And then, of course, we can go max out our boy. Bang. All right. But look at his damage, man. Like, I'm sorry, 2.6 for 8 with 100 range? Yeah, buddy, I don't know, man. And we're just gonna go put our boy Vegeta right next to him. There we go. I'm just saying, which one would you rather have? I'm gonna take the full AoE, guys. So I can't recommend ever using Cell. He is a free 7-star though from the Battle Road. But I'm gonna be honest, I think he's the worst 7-star. I'm gonna say he's definitely worse than Naruto, because Naruto, you can at least evolve him into Karama, you know? Alright, well that brings us to the next unit that we just kind of showed. We got Vegeta. Now Vegeta's actually busted for story mode as well. So if you take a look at his stats, 51k on placement, but he does cost 10k. But what I like to do with him is I like to place him a little bit farther back, give him the blue eye orb. Alright. And I really love this upgrade not final beam, it's called beam slashes. Look at this. So he has a really wide cone AoE and the damage is really good as well. He is a bit pricey though. You're gonna get those. You can get those too if you want to. He's definitely a bit on the pricey side, but if you give him the blue eye orb, you could do like 3 to 4 million damage with this guy. It's pretty busted for 7 SPA and for only costing 90k. So I definitely highly recommend him, especially in any like fire raids. All right, next up we have Mochi, the slow god. All right, come on. Now he isn't really good in story mode because of his 10k placement cost, but the reason people use him is, I'll show you his effects, I guess. They're really cool. People use him for Mochi Whirlwind, full AoE, 6 SPA, good damage too. Really good slow unit, guys. All right, I think you guys probably already know that. All right, next up we have our boy Ichigo. Now Ichigo is really cool because he's a very high damage placement. And look at that, he only costs $500 to place. So if you give him leader slot and fire rage orb, he's doing like 100k damage. It's pretty busted. But again, the problem is you can't use him in story mode because his first upgrade is so expensive. All right, but he has a few nice upgrades. So he has this AoE upgrade. All right, that's gonna cost you about $4.5 million, which is not too bad. And then he has another one there, so that's gonna cost you 6.5, and then Awaken Slash, and then Special Awakening. So he also has an ability which makes him only hit air units, which is also pretty cool. So I'll show you his effects too real quick. All right, if you guys want to see them. There we go. You see it'll only hit the air units. You see it killed the air unit, but it did not hit the test dummy. So just be aware of that. He also is sellable. And then we have Princess Apollo, who's meta for gauntlet mode. She's really nice for that. She does okay damage too. All right, you see, not bad at all, guys, honestly. And she has good range too, so she's actually not a bad unit just in general. But her upgrades get expensive pretty early on, and she does have this reveal, which is really nice. All right, and she's basically really meta for gauntlet. I'd say she's only good for gauntlet. She's okay in story mode, and her DPS is not bad for a price, 3.17 for 5. But the thing is, you can only place 4 of her, which really sucks, and limits her damage potential in infinite mode. All right, so let's go rank these units. Vegeta up there with Broly. Honestly, I like Vegeta in story mode, so I'm gonna give Vegeta the edge. Mochi, S tier, guys, best slow in the game. Ichigo, honestly, maybe up here. I don't know. Ichigo is good, but I like Vegeta better in some respects. Apollo, meta for gauntlet mode, so I'll give A tier. Let's see here. Mob. Let's rank the rest of them. All right, let's move on to Mob. Now, Mob, he's all right in raids and stories. I'll show you his stats. I mean, honestly, it's not that bad. 41k. All right, you know what? He definitely has some potential there. Now, he's also underrated just in damage in general. Like, look at this. Like, that's actually pretty good. Look at that for raids. That's actually not too bad for this price. And you can get all the way up to here in raid modes pretty easily. So it's not the end of the world. But what makes him great is these upgrades here, guys. Oh my gosh. Look at this, guys. Not only does he do insane damage, like seriously, that's like up there with Broly. He is AoE, not like full AoE though. But then of course, guys, he has this one right here. Bang. All right. You just saw my damage go up, man. Like it's just busted OP. Like, do we say just if you have him, your damage task is already maxed. Like, he's that good. He'll max out your damage task in one thing. Oh my gosh, and the effects look so good too. So you got to get this guy. All right, let's just go switch the path over so we don't have to worry about it. All right, here we go. So let's go check out Deku. Oh my gosh, Deku has so many abilities. Where do I begin? Where do I begin? I'm just gonna go throw some upgrades up here. All right, here we go. So his starting stats are not that bad though. Look at that, guys. 2 SPA. I like that a lot, man. Fast SPA units are really nice. His first special move, I think that makes him a buff unit. So I'll just put this guy over here. All right, there we go. That makes him a buff unit. I'll show the proof. There we go. Now he's buffed. And then his next upgrade, Q Whip. No, Q Gear makes him. Oh no, we wanted the Q Whip. Frick, which one do we want? Oh no, he's buffed. So if the unit's buffed, it doesn't let you switch the attack. Duh. All right, so Q Gear is the first one, and Q Whip makes his damage. Look at that damage, guys. And that costs you 25k. That's insanely OP. Next upgrade, and he also stuns too, which is really nice. Q Smoke makes him a slow unit. All right, that's really nice as well. Q Float makes him an air unit with good damage. All right. Next upgrade, Q Energy, which makes him a nice cone AoE with good damage. And then his final upgrade makes him lose all these abilities. All right, so wait, maybe not anymore. Does he not lose them anymore? I guess they still show up, but they don't work. Well, anyways, he has really, really high damage for his SPA. Did he always have a 12 SPA? Huh. Well, anyways, really high damage for 12 SPA. Not bad at all. Really good unit with all these cool effects. All right, next up we have this guy. All right, he's really good too. He's honestly actually really good for story mode because of decay. All right, he's really cheap too. Like, look at these upgrade costs. Like, you can max him out. Well, not that upgrade, of course, but you can max him out really cheap with the decay ability. And decay is just pretty busted. I believe it is the whole map. So we'll switch it to the next path. All right, and then we'll decay. Oh, no, it's not the full map. I guess it's just his AoE then. It does really good damage, guys. Just a good ability in general. So I highly recommend it. It doesn't work on bosses though, which kind of sucks. But other than that, it's a great ability. It's definitely meta for infinite mode for sure. All right, next up we have Aizen. So Aizen, they nerfed him. He no longer buffs money units. Instead, Meliodas does. So that kind of sucks. What makes Aizen great is two things. One, he's really good for story mode because of his damage. All right, and two, he also has this. Now they kind of buffed it so you can use it more often, which is nice. You can see the cooldown is way faster. And then he has this ability as well. You can afford this ability in like the 19 wave raids. And basically what it does is I'll just send an enemy over here. All right, we'll just send in an enemy and then we will use it. All right, does it do full map? Oh no, it only works in his range. So if the enemy's in his range, he'll copy it and it will spawn a like summoner unit with half its HP. So basically insta kills any boss in the game. So really highly recommended unit for raids if you can afford him. Also good for infinite mode as well, but his DPS is a little bit lacking. It's not bad, it's just not crazy good. All right, next up we have Meliodas, who buffs money units, as well as Tanjiro. Very good units for that. All right, Meliodas is good for raids. All right, his raids upgrades go all the way up to here. So 771 for a 8 SPA, very good, up to par with Naruto. And then he has some decent moves as well. What makes him really good is his disintegration ability, which is the same as Zamasu, so it cuts the enemy's HP by 60%. So definitely, and he has a really fast cooldown too. Look at this cooldown on that. So it's meta for gauntlet mode, it's meta for infinite mode. Very good unit, guys. And then lastly, we have Tanjiro. All right, Tanjiro also buffs money units. Now he has Sunburn. Now Sunburn kind of sucks. It's like a poison, but also slightly slows the enemies. I believe they said it by 10%. So really not a lot, but considering he only costs 1k, he basically starts off with like 10k damage poison, which is really good with full AoE too. And he gets, actually look at this, so this is all still full AoE damage right here. So if you're doing the hell raid, definitely bring this dude. And then he has some good upgrades as well that are cheap. So 535k poison with 7 SPA, really good for the hell raid. So definitely raid meta here. And then really good damage as well with Sunburn. So just a great unit overall, and I definitely recommend bringing it, especially in your leader slot, because he also does buff money units. So really busted unit. So let's go rank all the rest of them right now. All right, so Mob, S tier for damage. Aizen, honestly, he's good for raids and infinite mode, so easily S tier. Meliodas, good for pretty much everything. Tamura, good for everything, really good unit. Deku, I'm gonna give him like maybe high A tier, not the best, not the worst. All right, and Tanjiro honestly really is meta as well. So let's go fix some of the rankings real quick. I'm gonna probably put Zorro B tier, and we'll put Karama B tier as well. I don't really recommend them. And there we go, guys. So those are the final rankings for all the 7 stars. Let me know which you think in the comments down below. Did I miss up any of the rankings? Did I miss anything? And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.